Hey, Taurus, Mel, intuitive coach here, excited to bring in your June 2025 career and money reading. If you're interested in a personal reading, signing up for the monthly newsletter, or entering into the free reading giveaway, you can find all of that information in the description box below the video. All right, welcome. Taurus, I have a feeling you are expanding your mind in some way. I'm getting intellectual curiosity here. In order for you to grow, in order for you to feel like you're making a difference here in some way, yeah, 10 of Cups above you, you are making space. And I see that you're really connecting with your higher self at this time. You may be doing some research, embracing your work or your money with intellectual curiosity. And I feel like there's a shift coming in for you. And look, at bottom of the deck, we have the Fool card. This is taking a leap of faith, but it's also about potential. It is about curiosity. And that's what I see you doing at this time, is getting curious about your next moves, and also taking a look at things that you enjoy that help you feel like you are aligned with your purpose, your passions, your mission. And you have huge decisions that just flew out here. So you may be contemplating selling or buying, maybe leaving a job, maybe going off on your own. You may even be taking a look at paying off some sort of debt. Like, how can I do this in the amount of time that is conducive to your goals? So I see you really looking at things on a deeper level, but I'm also getting that 10 of Cups energy above you, which tells me that if you feel like you're dissatisfied or restless in any area, you are making the necessary changes to create a life that you love for yourself. So I love the Fool card at the bottom of the deck, because this is what's bubbling up to the surface for you. This is about self-discovery. And I'm also getting a message here of travel. So for some of you, you may have careers where you're able to travel anywhere, maybe work from anywhere in the world remotely. You may even be in the travel or even Airbnb industry. I'm getting the Chariot here for you, and yep, you actually have the Chariot in your hopes and fears. So for some of you, you may even want to work remotely or work at a distance in some way. So you are finding ways to manifest your dreams. And you have the manifestation card at the bottom of this deck here. And it says you have all the tools that you need to increase your income. Good fortune is coming soon. An opportunity may come to you where you can showcase your talent. Some of you may even be traveling to go to like a psychic fair or a business convention, or perhaps you're going to see a motivational speaker. I'm actually seeing here the I Can Do It conference that has a lot of spiritual speakers, influencers, motivators, such as Tony Robbins, Louise Hay, I think started the whole You Can Do It event. So some of you may be traveling to a spiritual retreat, or perhaps going to a place where you're able to embrace your intellectual curiosities here. You have the Frame card, Taurus, and this is about steady income, organizing and accomplishing. So that's kind of what you've been doing this year, is organizing your mind, organizing your space, and maybe organizing your finances, and really taking a look at what is possible, what you are able to do at this time with your money. I'm getting like money moves. You may be looking at long-term goals of yours, such as retirement, where you want to settle down in a few years. And I see you also want to be able to showcase your creative side. So art and design field for some of you. And there's the self-employment or home oriented that I was picking up on as well. You may even be taking some money to do some do-it-yourself projects or to maybe even build a home. Some of you may work with contractors in the month of June. You may hire like landscapers or people to help you build or create in some way, whether this is a business or whether this is, a dream home. Remember, this is a finance and career reading. So I feel like you have some money coming your way, or you've saved up a little bit of money for you to make a move in a new direction, because you also have the windfall card. This may be an inheritance. For some of you, there's going to be a bonus, or there will be an increase here in production that's going to lead to an increase in money. This is great. You're about to receive a windfall of money or a pay raise. And that's the second message that we've received about that increase. Good fortune is coming soon, as it says here on the manifestation card. And I definitely see that people are recognizing your skill sets. And if you do create like a good or service, or you have some products, perhaps you put them out at the local farmers market, or you bring them to an event. You may even be in sales of some sort. Perhaps you are selling items. I feel like this is going to be a very powerful month for you where there is an increase even to collaborate or work with someone where this could be a long-term contract. They may continue to buy your products or services monthly here, or even bi-weekly. You have the office card. Delegating more can help you increase your earnings, especially if things are busy, if they are picking up here. You might need an additional hand or a helper. I also see for those of you that do work in the office, if things have felt a little bit stuck or maybe stagnant in some way, I feel like you may be contemplating, what can I do to renew this energy? What can I do to hit that refresh button? I'm getting teacher as well. You may be a teacher, or you may be in a setting where you're able to teach others in some way, because I feel like there's a very teachable vibe showing up here. People may even go to you for advice, for a mentorship or guidance. You could be a secretary, staff assistant, office manager, or in any job that does include working in the office, or connecting to someone who does work in the office that can help you build your dreams. Think of the greater good than oneself to achieve a better outcome. And that's the 10 of Cups vibe. That is about taking a holistic approach, mind, body, and soul. Does this feel good? Does this compensate me in the way that feels reciprocated? Does this show up as a feeling here of difference, like I'm making a difference? So you're asking all the right questions here. Now you're starting off with the Messenger of Water. This is the Knight of Cups showing up here. And when the Knight of Cups shows up, you are open to emotional depth, taking your career, taking your finances to the level of, all right, if I'm going to spend on this, if I'm going to buy or purchase this item or this home or this business, it's coming from a place of passion, of desire, because this really makes me happy in some way. You want to move forward with the heart leading, but of course with your logical mind intact. So I feel like you're getting both of those on the same page here. And if you are not exactly in that situation yet where you feel like you're making money doing what you love, or traveling, or being able to work remotely, I see that there is movement here, because all knights are movers. And this Knight of Cups, he listens to his intuition. He listens to that emotional pull. And I was picking up on that Chariot earlier, and Cancer drives the Chariot. So it's our emotions that are causing you to create some shifts. And that's why you have the 10 of Cups above you, because you've been reflecting. You've been saying, is this satisfactory to my level? Is this a situation that I feel restless in? Or am I meant to stimulate my mind or my emotions a bit more? And I'm getting like a tickle. It feels like there's a tickle, like you're on the edge. There's something you can't quite put your finger on, but it is like tickling your senses in some way where you're listening. And that little tickle, I feel, is your intuition. So be sure that you are open and doing what you can to say yes to what your intuition is leading you towards. So I love the Knight of Cups kicking off your month here. Now, what's in the challenge position is the Four of Pentacles. And I actually do like this in the Four of Pentacles in reverse, because it's the challenge, because it means that you're letting go. Because sometimes when this is in the upright, it means we're hanging on too tightly. Like we're sitting on something without quite making a move. It can be sitting on assets, or, sitting in a comfort zone even, because we're not quite sure if we take that next step, is it going to grow? Is it going to blossom here? You've been teeter-tottering on the edge here. And this tells me that, all right, in order to maybe make a little bit more, I got to spend a little bit more. Or in order to create the dream, I have to put myself out there. I can't sit on the fence anymore. So I feel like you are opening up here with this Four of Pentacles. There's maybe even some debt that you are working on paying off. If there is a windfall of money coming in here for you, whether that be an inheritance or maybe it's a raise, where with this windfall card, where you're able to put a little bit more aside to help you down the road. I'm also getting here a shift maybe in the market. There could be a bit of an increase here. Excuse me, or this could be a ripe time to like buy or sell in the month of June. So if you've been waiting for the time to strike, this is it. This is really a good card to even have in the challenge position. But Spirit is reminding you here to let go of any scarcity mindset here, or hoarding type of thinking, like there's not enough, or I'm going to be in debt forever, or it's too scarce, right? Try to let go of that mindset. Of course, do your due diligence, do your research, but remember that we all have the ability to tap into the flow of abundance. So if you are teeter-tottering on the edge here of building a dream because you're not sure if it is manageable, or you're not quite sure if you can do it, right? This is saying don't let the mind talk you out of what you really want to do here. Because I see the mind in the past position. Now, what's below you? What's in your foundation? King of Fire. Look at that. You are an inspirational leader. And I mentioned earlier, like Tony Robbins, or, getting up on stage. Some of you may even be called to speak or to share your story in some way. Now, the King of Wands, he is someone who marches to the beat of his own drum. He's very goal-oriented. He's adventurous. He's resourceful. He is assertive, and he's not afraid to express himself, express his beautiful heart there, because he does listen to his intuition, and he has that spiritual drive that inspires him, and he infuses everything that he does with that spiritual touch. And that's what you're doing here, Taurus. So you have some really great ideas. And I feel like you are moving forward. You see the sun is right behind him as well. So for some of you, that sun may have been blocked, okay? Or it may have caused you to lose confidence at times, or perhaps you felt like that abundance was lacking, but you felt it. You felt it on the edge, right? That could be that teeter-totter I'm picking up on. But I feel like you've been, again, asking the right questions. What makes me happy? And not letting the ego mind get in the way here of your success. So pat yourself on the back. I feel like you are returning to that place of confidence that you've had in the past. You've had it before. I see that. And if things have felt a little stuck, or you've had to maybe dip into savings, or there was an unexpected medical bill, or you've had to just manage, it feels like this is a month where you're catching up a little bit, and the mind is giving you some new ideas. So I would say, I feel like you're using the mind this month to build, not destroy. In the recent past, you have the 10 of Swords in reverse. Yes, there's been some sort of pit or bottom that you may have hit, maybe an ending here. But I feel like this is an ending to that destructive mind that can sometimes get the best of us. We tend to overanalyze. We tend to mentally feel lost, confused. This may have been recovery. For some of you, you've had to recover your assets after a loss. But I feel like the worst is behind you here with this Ten of Swords. It really is. Because I see that some of you, you've either been unemployed or you didn't have a lot of work, or the goods or services that you were trying to provide, you didn't have a lot of clients or a lot of sales, because we do have here the, need a job unemployment card. So it's like, okay, well, how can I bring more people in, more clients, or how can I find that job that I'm going to feel good about? You actually have the loan denied here with the debt paid. So again, it feels like you're going, or you've gone through a situation where there's been denial, there has been some sort of loss, but that's why you have the huge decisions here, because this new decision that you are making, whether this is in the mind, whether you're actually taking action, because remember, we have the Knight of Cups. He is an action taker. This decision that you make is going to put you on the path towards debt paid. That's why she's holding that up and with a big smile, because you're paying down something, or you're able to feel like you're in a better position than wherever you were here in the past. Now, what's above you is the Ten of Cups. This is beautiful. So see here, we're shifting from the Ten of Swords, which is not my favorite 10, right? The Ten of Swords can be, there was some sort of ending. Some of you even dealt with people, family members or coworkers who felt like they were stabbing you in the back. Maybe that's part of the Office card here. There may have even been some drama and you're like, I just want to exit out of this, or perhaps someone left. Okay. But I feel like you are working on manifesting here a peaceful life. Look at the Ten of Cups is represented here by Buddha, my favorite, the laughing Buddha. The Ten of Cups is the ultimate blessing. It is community. It is togetherness. It is emotional fulfillment when it comes to your career and your finances and your money and basically your abundance. It is a feeling of spiritual and emotional satisfaction. And that's what you are calling in here. That's part of the choice that you are making. And it's setting you up here for a lot of flow. And I love that it also aligns with that Knight of Cups. That Knight of Cups is taking action towards the Ten of Cups. So whatever this is for you, whatever you are moving towards, if this makes you happy, if this is something that fulfills you, I feel like there's a lot of success here. Now, in the near future, you have the Ace of Cups, so another cup card. So you may even be spending some time near or on the water. Okay, this could give you insight into some of these ideas, like how to take those ideas and bring them to life. For others of you, I feel like there's definitely a new opportunity with this Ace of Cups to connect, to feel renewal, curiosity, positivity, and hope. The Ace of Cups definitely opens the heart up and brings in a sense of balance. So if you've been on the fence or if you've been feeling imbalanced emotionally, I do feel like mental clarity is coming soon and you're going to move forward here with a more abundant flow. Now, how are you doing, Taurus? 8 of Fire. Ooh, there's the 8 of Wands. I was feeling the 8 of Wands and the Chariot, both action cards. So this is in reverse, which means you are realigning your energies. You're realigning your thoughts in order for you to activate this Ace of Cups, because it is the potential after a few opportunities that you may have said no to, or they may have been rejected with that Ace of Cups, because you may have had to focus on rebalancing first. And now I see that you're in a place where you're either relocating, you could be traveling, communicating. There's progress coming in after a period of reflection. Yeah, if you've been reflecting here a bit, or just working even with a financial advisor or a business professional, if there's been some communication between you and another individual, because I do see this King of Wands. I feel like this is you, but the movement here, it looks like there's movement between you and another. And I don't see a lot of court cards, although I'm not done looking at the cards. There's the other person, the six of, or the other energy, I should say. The six of earth is the six of pentacles, which is, I scratch your back, you scratch mine. This is reciprocity. It's equal give and take. And it did show up here in reverse, meaning if you were in a situation where you were either overgiving, or perhaps you may have even felt codependent on a certain person or a certain path that you were on, that's what's shifting here, because you're saying, wait a second, I am going to go where I am honored, where I feel like I belong. There's a sense of belonging here I'm picking up on, and that's why the Fool is showing up, because you are opening yourself to discovery. And I'm getting a lot of travel vibes. So if you're not in the travel industry or work for, travel of some way, you could even be taking maybe a personal vacation in the month of June. But there's a lot of really beautiful ideas that you have. And one of those ideas, maybe choices, decisions, or incoming opportunities, are going to bring you a lot more balance. There could even be a charitable event. This could be nonprofit. Six of Pentacles in your environment can also be about gifts or donations, grants, scholarships, loans, taxes. It's basically an opportunity for equal give and take after establishing some good boundaries here. And remember what I said about that reflection period that you were in? If you haven't been in that yet, I feel like you're coming up to it. And after that reflection period is done, and you're saying, okay, this is what I need to do to up the ante. This is what I need to do to live my best life. And you're getting there. You really are. You're getting there, because in the hopes and fears, you have the Chariot. You have a lot of fast moving energy here. You are leading with the heart. But I feel like the mind here is getting on board, meaning you are reprogramming that mind to say, instead of I can't, you're saying I can. Or instead of saying it's impossible, you're saying I'm possible. So really reprogramming and flipping the script here in some way. Now, the Chariot showing up for you, Taurus, is travel again. It's our goals. It's our emotional control, being able to know when the right time is here, instead of feeling impulsive, or instead of feeling lack of direction. Some of you may have even been dealing with someone who was very impulsive, maybe even someone who is very selfish with that 10 of Swords, and it left you in a bit of a pickle. All right, because sometimes that Chariot, when it does show up as a fear, it's because you've dealt with someone or something that it just kind of it spiraled backwards. And then it left you feeling, all right, well, what do I do now? What direction is up? What direction is down? And I feel like you are saying, I have some new drive, new momentum, new victory, because the Chariot, when you move forward with this emotional drive, you head straight into victory here. So I love that. Now your outcome is the Wheel of Fortune. Beautiful Wheel of Fortune here. This is destiny, it's fate, but it's also a turning point for you, Taurus, where luck meets serendipity, and I believe we create our own luck. Yes, there are destined moments in our life where that wheel changes. That's why we watch tarot and we look into astrology and planetary alignments, because all of that also plays into when the best times for us to grow and, to focus on our career and finances. And I just feel like this is one of those times for you. Moving into June, that wheel starts to spin again after feeling like you're not quite sure where is it going to land. It's like that wheel was going round and round and you weren't quite sure, is this going to be in my best, interest? Is it going to go in my favor, or is that wheel going to backfire like maybe it did in the past? And so I definitely see that there's a huge shift here and a huge renewal, and this is divine timing. All right. It is divine timing. And we get stuck on that sometimes because we want things in our timing. But I feel like everything is now aligning. You've been co-creating with spirit. You've been aligning to your goals. And now you are ready to full force ahead, like full speed ahead, and hit some goals, hit some targets here. Be spontaneous. Think outside the box with that Fool. That's exactly what you are meant to do. Think outside the box, because the Wheel of Fortune here is saying there is a big turning point. Sometimes the best thing you can do is go with the flow here instead of trying to control the reins or the outcome. You know, when you have a horse, for those of you that have ever rode a horse, and you try to control that horse so much where it's you in control, where you are not allowing your energy to mold and vibe and integrate with the horses, what happens is that horse is going to back up, you know, or literally buck up. It's going to resist. It's going to feel your vibe. And that's, I see a lot of feeling here. And that's what's happening is you're saying, okay, wait a second. I had the reins too tight. I was trying to control things too tightly, and it bucked up on me. And now I'm loosening the reins here. I'm trusting and I'm co-creating, because it's not just a singled energy here. Your biggest co-creating partner is spirit. So in this case, we're using the horse, but the more that the both of you can blend into each other's energy, feel each other's energy, the better you will be able to kind of go with the flow and move forward. And when that horse gets running, right, it's like a wild horse, and you're able to really make progress. And that's what I see happening here. And it's beautiful because we also have the Chariot, which has the two horses right on it here. So beautiful. We have the black and the white horse. So there's also that integration of divine masculine and feminine. All right, let's get a message here from the wisdom of the Oracle. What do we have, please, for Taurus? All that glitters. All that glitters isn't always gold. So be careful what you're chasing after. That's what this message is all about. So that's why it is important to make sure that you reflect instead of just jumping into what may look good. This is something you have to really make sure that your intuition and your spirit is on board, because sometimes we make split-second decisions, or we try to just get out of a jam right away and into something new without really aligning or manifesting that energy. It's called escapism. I just did a collective reading over the weekend, or collective video, that has to do with quantum jumping and timeline shifting. So perfect example here. If you haven't checked that out, check that out. We have all that glitters. This is about seeing beyond the superficial. It is about chasing things that are sparkly and new, being mercurial. Now, when it shows up, you know, sometimes we want to adorn ourselves with trinkets. We want to paint a pretty picture of oneself. It's natural to want to acquire the trappings of status, or to deny them as a statement of rebellion. But if it sparkles, is it better? Whether it's a fast car, a big house, a title, or position, the stamp of authority, or the sparkling of diamonds, these icons let you know something about a person, place, or thing. Or do they? The truth is that people seek to acquire things because of what they will do for them and how they symbolically will elevate them and make them more attractive. This card signals that it's time to see beyond the adornments and probe underneath the surface. There's that emotional piece that keeps showing up here, that spiritual alignment. That's the Buddha within you. So really, this is a month where you're tapping into your inner Buddha, Taurus. You're learning to recognize the masks that people wear and the motives underlying them. Imagine that all the glitter is gone. Would you still desire the object, the job, the person, you know, whatever it is here? If all that glitter was gone, would you still desire it? So really looking at that inner Buddha, is this going to fulfill you? All right, it says sometimes an opportunity looks so good that it glitters like gold and you just can't resist it, especially when it appears others are doing so well or have hit the mother lode. So during the American gold rush, everyone hurried west to find their fortune and then deserted entire towns after the mining depleted gold veins in the earth. So too can you deplete yourself as you chase after the latest shiny thing that has caught your eye. There is a mercurial quality to your present circumstance. Pay no attention, Taurus. Now, this could be people you're dealing with as well. You know, you may be dealing with people who are chasing after those things that glitter, right? And again, it's not saying that there's a bad or a good or a right or a wrong with doing so, but really take a look at your motives. Pay no attention to those who chase after fool's gold. Resist the temptation to be jealous of others. What they have achieved may not be the true success you seek, so try not to get caught in that comparison trap. Be assured that you will experience your own shining moment if you stick to what you know. All that glitters may not be gold. So what I'm getting here is some of you with this 10 of Swords, you are walking away from maybe something that it looked great on the outside, right? But then you got into it and you realize, you know, maybe this isn't what I want to do. And that's okay. Okay, that's okay. Trust in that. Trust in that. All right, let's get a message here from your spirit animals. And at this time, Taurus, if you can safely do so, please close your eyes. Take a nice deep breath in from your solar plexus chakra, your belly area. Nice big inhale through the nose. Hold it for the count of 4, 3, 2, 1, and release through the mouth with a nice deep sigh. And with your eyes still closed, tune into your third eye chakra, the area between your eyebrows and your forehead region. And I want you to imagine the first animal or animals that show up in your mind's eye. Now this could be an animal that flies high in the sky, or perhaps swims deep in the sea. Your animal could be wild, magical, or even mystical. This could be a pet that's crossed over the rainbow bridge, one that you currently have at your home, or one that's crossed your path recently in the great outdoors. And if you need a moment, just pause the video and come back when you are ready. And for those of you that would like to be entered into the free monthly reading giveaway, all you need to do, Taurus, is drop your power animal or animals in the comment section below the video. And I post right back here on the community tab around the 1st of the month. So please make sure you've hit that subscribe and bell button so you don't miss that notification. All right, you have Dear Spirit. It says here, bring a gentle touch. This is about compassion. It's about compassion and kindness for yourself and for others. So if you have been caught in this 10 of Swords loop, be gentle with yourself and know that you have the ability to jump into a new timeline, that you have the ability to shift and create the reality that you want, that truly fulfills you on a spiritual, emotional, and intuitive, and yet financial level as well with that Wheel of Fortune. So remove any blockages. 4 of Pentacles. This is about you being spontaneous, thinking outside the box, and tapping into unlimited possibilities. So I love the Dear Spirit showing up. Some of you may be born on the 18th. You may be 34 or 35 years old. You have Hummingbird Spirit, which carries a very high frequency, and you're being asked to be present, to stay present, especially if you do find yourself multitasking a lot, or if you are very busy. I'm getting fidgety energy. Some of you may feel feel very fidgety or vigilant, okay, maybe hyper vigilant at times, really working on your meditations and staying present is going to benefit those of you who can't always sit still, especially if you have maybe like a type A personality. So be present. There's a lot of beautiful blessings lining up here for you. And even gratitude, embracing more of that gratitude is going to be beneficial for you. And then lastly here, we have koala spirit. Spirit has a plan. And we often forget that, especially when we are sitting on that horse, as I mentioned earlier, and we are trying to control its every move and it's bucking up against us. It's wanting to go in a different direction. You know, it feels like it's resistance. There's a level of resistance here. That's when it's important to trust that spirit does have a plan here. And I feel like you're opening up where you're co-creating, where your divine plan and spirit's plan are finally feeling like they're coming together here in some way. So I like that. Now, last but not least, let's get a final message from your soul's truth. What do we need to know here? For Taurus, am I letting fear stop me? Are you experiencing a mountain of fear right now? Are you stalling, freezing, or giving up? Four of Pentacles. The juicy secret, Taurus, is that you are the boss of fear. You are unstoppable. But it's up to you to see that by taking action. That's the Knight of Cups. Today, be brave and do it scared. Choose one fear and move through it. You are in need of a hero, so that is who you will become. Beautiful energy here. So be open to discovery here. You have an ace, a beautiful blessing lining up for you here in the near future. And what's coming in is the 10 of Cups. Completion, feeling this sense of all is well in my world, feeling like you're finally able to maybe let out that breath that you've been holding on to, maybe even not even realizing, perhaps subconsciously there's been some Ten of Swords energy here where the mind has felt draining. Maybe you've been letting a thought or letting a belief or letting someone else's energy live rent-free in your mind, causing you to feel a bit stuck. That's what you're letting go of. And that could even be the part that glittered here. You may have even had an emotional connection to a situation that you've outgrown. And that wheel is spinning here in your favor. So a windfall coming in, you are about to receive that windfall, and money is currently moving in a positive cycle for you. So don't be afraid to treat yourself. Make that purchase if you feel called to do so and you're able to do so. I feel like you are treating yourself here in a way that could be, very small. Maybe you're treating yourself to, a nice dinner, or perhaps you're treating yourself and you've saved up, you've worked hard for something, and maybe it's a new vehicle, or perhaps it's a spiritual retreat. Whatever this is for you, trust in your ability to make choices and decisions here, Taurus, that are in your highest good. Because remember, you're not alone on this path. You're constantly co-creating here with spirit. Thank you so much for tuning in, Taurus. If you like the message, please hit that thumbs up button. Feel free to share, like, subscribe, and hit that bell. Thank you so much for tuning in. Lots of love.